This video will be part two. If you already watched part one, you saw how we got this equation. The idea with this is to not do too much work, to not overwhelm ourselves. We got an equation for one heart for the parabola. Like this little thing is the equation for the point, and A is the point that goes from 0 to 7. What we're going to do is we're going to copy this, same equation, and what we're going to want to do here is, instead of having to go through 7, we want to go through negative 7. Now, if negative 7 is a 0, that really means x plus 7 is the equation. So negative 7 is what would make that a 0. So it's basically, it's the same equation we had before, but instead of right there, we're going to change it to a plus. That's it. So down here, give some space here. So copy this equation, Control C, paste it. Now we can't call both of them f of x. It's going to get confused. So this one will be called g. And we'll split it to this side. Okay. Now for the point, it'll be just like before, but it needs to follow the g pattern, or the g function. I'm going to copy that. So what our point is going to be a comma f of a, but instead we're going to make it follow g. Now the problem with this also is we want it to go from 0 to negative 7 instead of 0 to 7. And the easiest way to handle that is, our a is still going to be our a, but we're going to change it, go to the negative direction. I'll show you how that works. So now your point is going there. Okay, so what's going on here? Let's pause this. When a is 5.25, this one will be at positive 5. This one will be at negative of a, so that'll be at negative 5. One of them is on the purple graph, one of them is on the red graph. We can hide those later. Okay, so that's what this is. This right here is that point, and it's at negative 5.25. This one's the same point, but at positive 5.25. So pretty much the same equation, but with negative instead of positive. That's how we get more than one point going. Okay. So let's go back to this heart thing. This heart up here was following this pattern, A and then F of A. So if we add another image, oops, do the heart again, and his coordinates are going to be what we just used here, this point right here. Now all this is saying, instead of x and y, it's a and g of a, or negative a, and so it's following the point. Whatever a is, it follows that. We can shrink this down. There. That's a good size. Now when you press play here again, those will follow that pattern. And if we go back here, we can turn off that. And if we turn off everything, if we go over to here and turn off the x and y axis, now you just got floating hearts, and it doesn't really look like they even came from Desmos. So that can be coming out from wherever, but that's the start of your equation parts. So the idea is then sort of, you can generate this next equation by doing the same thing, going out to 9, so you're going a little wider, and you'll have to give it a new name. So we used F, G, H. And you could do exactly what all the steps we did there. Instead of A and G, you have A and H. Again, A, comma, H of A. But since that H is actually going to be on the negative side, put negative. And that's how we get more and more points. We're just going to layer more and more parabolas, more and more equations, and then you make them all disappear. Okay. One last thing I will say is you get a lot of stuff here. So what you might want to do, add a folder, title it hearts, and you can drag these points into there and you can hide the hearts. We can add a folder for the equations and drag all the equations in there. All right, and then these are all our points, and you can drag them up. Okay, and again, one last time. Oops. A and f of a is the same as x and f of x, which is the same as x and y. It's the same as x and y, so you're just giving it a point. This one's going in the positive direction. The negative a is to go on the negative side. And that's how you do it. All right, check out the next video and you should be well on your way to making your picture.